on my go.
Good evening and welcome to Spice It Up and Try Something New. Our spices this evening are garlic powder and oregano, and I've used a lot of both of those in my time, and it is some of the best around. So fresh and so strong. And I promised you I wasn't going to do anything weird this month, but I just couldn't do it. So Lee invented, our very own Lee Negrelli from Wild Spork, invented a quinoa stovetop burger. And we have a live studio audience this evening. Yay! So we will make inappropriate noises as things progress. Take it away, Chief.
All right. So normally when we make quinoa burgers, we end up putting them in the oven to bake so they kind of dry out a little bit and firm up. That's not an option here because we only have a stovetop, and maybe you do too. So this is the way we're going to do them. They turned out surprisingly good. I expected the insides to be mushy. They are not. So what we're basically doing is making a burger. We're going to add an egg replacement. We're going to add breadcrumbs. We are going to mix it all up with our cooked quinoa. So quinoa is a seed. It's super healthy. It has a ton of nutrition. It's also a little bit higher in calories than most grains. So you don't have to eat a ton of it to feel full. It also has a lot of fiber. So you're getting a protein, vitamins, minerals, calories, and a lot of iron, whatever else is in grains. So you can use it pretty much how you use rice, but you're going to get more flavor and more nutrition from the quinoa. So to cook it, you put well, first of all, you should rinse it unless the package says that it's pre-rinsed. It has a little bit of a almost soapy coating on it. So just put it in a strainer, swish it around with water until you don't see those foamy little white bubbles anymore, and then you'll be good to go.
You don't soak yours? Or
I don't soak it, I just rinse it.
Okay.
Unless the package tells me I don't have to, and then I don't. So it only takes about 15 minutes to cook. It will at least quadruple in size, so you don't need a ton of it. When you see the package, it's a little bit more expensive than some of the other grains, but you use a lot less. So if you need to make a cup of quinoa, you only have to put in a quarter cup of it dry and then cook it. So you'll combine the quinoa with the water in the pan, use twice as much water as quinoa, bring it to a boil, put the lid on the pan, turn it down to low, and cook it for about 12 minutes, and then turn it off. Let it sit 5 minutes before you mess with it. Then you can take off the lid and fluff it, and that's when you'll end up with fluffy quinoa. I didn't get my utensils ready before this, so let's see what we got here.
Ooh.
So you can kind of see it's fluffy. If you cook it too long, it will turn a little bit mushy. And if you don't cook it long enough, it'll be crunchy. So when you think it's done, you can taste it and see if you like the texture. So our pan is heating up. So the first thing we're going to do is make our binder. We're going to use just regular flour. You can sub in really any kind of flour that you like. If you want to use oat flour, that works really well. Gluten-free flour, I'm sure would work for this as well, because all we're really doing is making a paste. So I just have flour in the bowl. I'm going to mix in water until it's the consistency of a kind of runny pancake batter. You just want to whisk it until you get the lumps out. And there we go. That's all you have to do. And this is going to...
Yay!
And people don't clap for me often enough.
I agree.
Yes, you
We
need
can.
this.
Thank you.
You need this.
So Lee, you put a little bit of flour in with the quinoa, and then you
Not yet.
not yet. Okay.
So the bowl just has flour and water in it. We're going to add it to the quinoa
Okay.
as our, essentially I guess it's going to act as an egg. And then we're going to add seasoned breadcrumbs. So this is seasoned with the garlic powder and the oregano.
From Old Familiar Ways.
From Old Familiar Ways. It's really high quality seasoning. You can smell it through the plastic bag. I'm not measuring this. I should have told you how much I was adding. But so this is going to be, you want to add it until your whole mixture looks a little bit sandy almost. Would you describe that as sandy?
Yeah, yeah.
So
It looks like beach sand.
enough breadcrumbs that it's worked all through the quinoa. Can you see this at all, Cam?
Yes.
Okay.
You can see it on camera.
Okay, good. I didn't know if I was just showing no one.
Showing nothing to no one.
And so then we're going to add in our little impromptu batter.
So that's gonna work instead of an egg.
Yeah, it should hold it together, and then we're also going to add salt and pepper.
This is it without the egg stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then I
Okay.
almost forgot what I was actually doing.
This is it without
So-
the egg stuff.
I'm going to season this in addition to the breadcrumbs with the garlic powder and the oregano. We're going to do a little bit of a Middle Eastern flair with how we finish these burgers. So I'm going to add green onions and cilantro into the mixture. But this is the stage where you can season it however you want. I was also debating, because we're using garlic powder and onion powder, I was debating doing a pizza one, and then if I was doing that, stop at this point without adding the extra stuff. And then you can top it with pizza sauce. I'm going to add these flavors, and then we're going to finish it with some hummus.
So the quinoa becomes like the pizza crust?
Yeah, kind of. It's more or less just like the flavor of pizza, not necessarily a literal pizza. Though you could totally use this quinoa mixture and make them into thin little patties and make pizzas out of them. There's no rules here. You can add any flavors that you like to this mixture at this point.
So if cilantro makes you crazy, you don't have to put it in.
You don't have to put it in.
I'm amazed at the number of people that hate cilantro.
Yeah, it's a genetic thing.
Really?
Yeah, because it tastes like, most people that don't like cilantro say that it tastes like soap.
A little bit.
Okay.
And so, and that is based on your genetics. So if cilantro tastes like soap to you, that's not what it tastes like to the rest of us. It tastes very good. It's bright, it's bright and fresh and herbaceous and not at all soapy. Okay, so this looks like it's, so you want to just test it. We're going to end up making it into patties. So stick it together and see how well it holds up. This feels a little flimsy to me, so I'm going to add a little more water.
I might actually be able to make these.
You totally can make these. And
Of the things that I cannot make in this life, hamburgers are one of them.
so if it still falls apart, which mine are, this is all trial and error all the time, we're going to add more breadcrumbs. We're going to add more water. And we're going to remix. And use your hands because they're better mixing tools than a spoon.
Anything else, actually?
All right, these are pretty good. These are staying together. I can shape them into a burger patty.
Ooh.
Yay!
For the live studio audience.
What does it look like when you open it, when you break it?
When I break it in
Yeah, I
half.
want to see it. Okay, it looks like, guys, it looks like a burger.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is,
A very
of
pale
course,
one.
can be eaten in place of a meat burger. And you can use any toppings if you want to. You can season it how you would, with salt, pepper, steak seasoning, whatever you might use. And then, is that hot? Yeah. We put a little oil in there. You can top it like a burger. But just keep in mind, it's not going to taste like a burger. There's nothing about quinoa that tastes like beef. So don't get your hopes up in that sort of way. But it will give you
The texture.
the texture, the flavors, as far as your toppings and all that goes.
Well, it is also something that you can put in a bun with toppings on it.
Yes,
Which is really all you want.
exactly. It's a vehicle for your burger toppings. So we're gonna put that down. Got a nice sizzle. We opted to not use the non-stick pan, so hopefully these won't stick. Turn that heat down a little bit.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so I cooked a cup and a half of dry quinoa, and it turned into over 4 cups of, which is probably about 5 cups of cooked quinoa. So we could probably get 10 patties out of that amount. So you don't need a whole lot. And sorry, what?
And it's not expensive. I mean, that's the other thing. Is
Yeah.
Because you only need this much to feed an army.
Yeah, if you break it down to cost per serving, it is much more affordable than if you just see the bag and think, oh my gosh, it's $10, what do I do?
Yeah.
And there are cheaper ones than that, so look around the store.
We went to Mark's today, which is one of my favorite places to shop as
Nice.
well. And the Bob's Red Mill was whatever the Bob's
It
Red
was
Mill
$10.99,
was.
yeah.
But if you go 2 aisles over to the ethnic food place, quinoa is half the price.
Huh.
So,
Is there a difference between like red quinoa, brown quinoa? I mean, you can get such different.
Yeah, I think it's, well, I'm saying yes and then trying to explain it. I don't know the real difference other than their color. And I think the darker color ones might take a little longer to cook.
Okay.
But nutritionally, if they're from different plants, those answers I don't have.
Okay.
I didn't think this part
you
through.
need something to rinse your hands with, don't you?
Or I need you to flip these. One of those
Okay.
two things.
This is gonna be fun for you all.
We can see the bottoms of these patties beginning to turn brown, so that's when we are going to very front. So that's when we're going to flip them. So when you
Watch these patties fall apart for your very eyes.
when you're flipping something in hot oil, always flip away from yourself. So we don't want Kathy to turn this and splash it towards herself. We want her to flip away.
All y'all turn around and close your eyes.
Oh yeah, yes, look at that. It's
Perfect.
It stayed together perfectly. It's golden brown. Can you see in the mirror?
Here, look, guys. Can you see? Can you see the underside
Yes,
of this one?
yeah.
The mirror could be adjusted, then we've tried that with this.
We have
camera,
played
no
with
problem
this
getting
mirror
that.
until the end of time, and
Okay,
I'm done now.
Thank you.
so, a finger bowl.
These are way easier to flip than any burger or turkey burger or other.
Oh, I see.
Did that help at all?
We get to watch Lee wash her hands.
Perfect. Well, at
But
least
it's not on
It
the
was
camera.
very exciting.
Yeah,
We can't figure out how, it's not wide enough. I can see it this way. And then
So now we're golden brown on the first side. We're gonna let these cook for another minute on the second side.
There you go, you got it.
All right. And so while those are finishing cooking, I'm going to get our garnishes ready. So we're gonna do tomatoes, cucumbers, and lettuce and hummus.
We get to pick our own.
Sure. You can yes, you can top them however you want. I'm not gonna force them on you. I guess probably I don't need 25 tomato slices.
But
Okay, so a little bit of tomato, a little bit of cucumber, and then we are going to one day do a hummus episode, I was told.
we are gonna one day do a hummus episode. Maybe we'll do that next month.
Maybe.
We could do that. Because that's a good spring.
Hummus is good at all times, and because it's creamy, it's a perfect substitute for mayonnaise, basically. So are avocados. Anything you can spread on a bun is gonna be awesome if you're trying to avoid mayo in some form or another. So these are cooked. These buns.
I don't know that.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it was cooked before it went in. Technically, we just need them to stick together with the crunchiness and
Okay, all right.
and
fair
to
enough.
cook the flour a little bit. So you shouldn't eat raw flour. But so these buns, we're gonna warm them up a little. So we're just gonna set them in here.
How cool.
That is cool. Aren't you just like the smartest thing?
Oh, you know. Hannah's making a bootleg video of your video.
Pictures. We have the mirror. We have a little bit of it.
We have a bootleg video. We are somebody now.
We're making it.
This
Someone's
is
trying to
like-
rip this off already.
Oh my gosh,
And
this
mine's
is so
going
cool.
Available tomorrow on the black market. When you're already watching this version for free. Okay, so let's give these buns just another minute to get toasty, and then we'll be ready to serve them up.
Quinoa is incredibly versatile. I have made it, one of my favorite ways to eat it is as a breakfast cereal instead of oatmeal. And it can sit in the refrigerator and not turn into globs the way oatmeal does. So it's fun to just warm up and throw some raisins in it and call it breakfast. You made little quinoa
I
bites.
did. We made quinoa bites. So instead of cooking the quinoa, put it in a hot skillet and keep moving it around, almost like you're making popcorn. And it will pop a little bit, so be careful because some of them will shoot out of the pan. But do that until it's all toasted, and then mix it in with peanut butter and shredded carrots, and you can make them into little balls. And they're perfect little energy bites. Each one that's about a tablespoon is something like 70 calories and 3 grams of protein. So you don't need to eat a lot of them to get a nice boost when you need something quick to eat. The bun's warm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's plate one up and show the people.
And show the people
Let's show the people what we're all about here.
what miracles can happen.
We have everything except for normal forks and spoons up here. That's okay.
We have a fork here.
Oh, okay.
Silly.
Yay!
Okay, so let's do. Oops. Let's do some lettuce on the bottom bun. Give it a little color and height. This only needs 1 tomato. Some cucumbers. And hummus, and
There it is.
Wow.
Wow.
Yay!
there you go. Enjoy.
Beautiful.
We'll see you next time when we maybe make hummus.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lee.
Yes.
Thanks, Kathy.
There are